Hello and welcome to another episode of Always Tell Me the Odds, a Star Wars Unlimited podcast. I am Magnus or Dragonfly, and with me, as usual, is Marcus or Following. So,
Hello.
Marcus,
Hi.
how are you today, and what's up in your life?
I'm doing good, thank you. It's Monday when we're recording, so it's been a long Monday, but doing good. Sitting here talking about Star Wars Unlimited, it's always fun.
Yeah, it is. So, what have you been doing since last we recorded?
Well, we just talked about that, and it was 2 days since we recorded the last episode, so I haven't done very much of it, to be honest. Because it's
Well, actually, I mean, yesterday we met up and played some RPG.
we did.
So that was
Yeah, pen and
super
paper
nice.
RPGs for sure. With a group that we have been playing for like 15 years or so?
Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
at least 15
I think
years.
in 15 years we're in our third campaign now. So it's been very long sessions.
I think like the first 10 years was the same campaign.
It was a long one.
That was a super long one.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Really fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot
super
of fun. It's also fun that we are playing a system that one of our friends have developed, and we have kind of play tested it for 15 years. So it's very like toned in, so we really like it, which is it's nice.
It's been evolving a lot during
sure.
that time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess you haven't done that much Star Wars
not
Unlimited.
Too much. Not since yesterday or the day before yesterday. True. But we have things coming up.
Yeah,
a lot of things
so
coming
that's what I was going to say. What are we talking about today then?
Yes, so we are in the weekend now coming up for us. There will be a bunch of store showdowns in the area where we live, and I think you are going to 2 of them, right? And I am going to 1 of them because they were put in days where there were birthdays from different people, so we couldn't go to all of them. But that was unfortunate. But hey,
we were both going on to the same showdown on Friday.
True.
And then I'm going to another one on Saturdays as well. So
you have a full
that's
weekend.
That's going to be super fun. Yeah, it's going to be a really nice weekend. And I mean, on the Sunday, I have a birthday party for my son. So it's going to be a full weekend. Yeah.
And I mean, he is playing Star Wars Unlimited, so you could theoretically play Star Wars Unlimited with him.
Should I do like a Star Wars Unlimited themed birthday party?
Exactly.
Maybe.
And have like a birthday tournament.
Like get all his friends to like make them try the game maybe.
That would be fun. Knows? They would love that actually, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But store showdowns, what are they? Because I have never been to one.
Yeah. No, this will be your first showdown. That's quite funny. You've been to planetary qualifier, but you've never played a store showdown. So if you go by FFG's own like organized play sites and how they the structure they like put up on how organized play is working. So store showdowns is part of a casual play structure, and then planetary qualifiers, sector qualifiers, regional qualifiers, and the galactic championship. That's more competitive play.
Yeah.
So
so I went straight into
store showdown is a part of a cycle that flows between like pre-releases, weekly play, and store showdowns for the more casual player. So I guess it's like and the ones I've been to are super casual, and it's usually at least the ones I've been to has only been, it's always like one day tournaments and probably no top cut at all. Just like depending on how many players, 4 or 5 rounds of Swiss, and then you get a winner.
All right, that sounds casual and nice.
So and everybody just brings what they're able to play, and it doesn't, for me at least. I mean, showdowns are definitely just for fun. I'm a competitive player otherwise, and I like to do well in bigger tournaments, but the store showdowns, I'm not that focused on trying to win them. It's more for fun. So as I said in the last episode, I've decided to play at least to play my my showcases in these showdowns, and
I think that's a good idea.
I'm also playing 2 different decks.
Yeah, so you're playing one deck on Friday and one on Saturday.
Yeah, and I get to use my shiny showcases
shiny
leaders. So yeah,
that's good.
But also some extra spice and extra fun.
I also think that's I can see that in our local group that people are going to the store showdowns because they are playing leaders that they usually don't. It's like, okay, that's a weird deck, but it's like they're trying stuff out.
Yeah, a lot of the players are like, oh, this is a super fun deck. I'll bring that to the showdown because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I like that
much.
It's more like community building tournament kind of.
It is a casual tournament, so that should be probably the way you think about these kind of tournaments. Okay. Of course, if you want, you can definitely have the goal of winning your showdowns. It's nothing wrong with that. But
I mean, I always go to a tournament and think like with an ambition to win. Otherwise, why would I go? Otherwise, I could just go to my local store and play a little bit. Like, so if I go there, it's a little bit more serious. But I understand it's more not as serious like a planetary.
No, and I mean, of course, as I've said before as well, I love to play underdog leaders. Yeah, so
it's fun.
It's fun to try to win a showdown with a leader that maybe no one else have done it with, or at least not as many people has managed to win.
I'm also like that. I always like the underdog perspective and playing as an underdog. And somehow I was like, since I'm so new to the game, I sometimes like I dream a little bit about taking a leader and a base that I know it's a little bit of an underdog, but I really like to play it and make something good out of it, and then do really good in for instance a store showdown and like coming in as a new person and with a wacko deck, and it's like, oh my god, what is happening here? Because they're not like prepared for it or something. That is that I want to do.
So I mean, it's going to be fun to see if you noticed any differences with going to this showdown compared to the planetary qualifier we went to.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think you'll have. There will be less players and not as many rounds to play.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think you'll actually notice any big differences because the planetary qualifier we went to was extremely friendly.
It was very friendly.
Almost felt like a casual tournament. Everyone was super nice and fun to play with. And
because I was expecting
not that it has to be like serious and not fun in a more strict competitive setting. And that's the fun thing about Star Wars, that usually there's not that much of a difference because everyone keeps
because I was expecting
having a nice time, and
I was expecting the PQ to be more competitive and be a little bit more like in quotation marks serious. Of course people were serious and I could like there were judges and stuff, so but it was super friendly, and the community, and I know I've said this a number of times in the podcast, but the community around Star Wars Unlimited is very, very welcoming and very, very nice. So it's and everybody help each other, and it's such a good vibe. So it felt way more casual on the PQ than I thought it would be. I expected it to be more competitive, but so it will be interesting to see now how it feels when it go to the store showdown, because I know it's smaller, and I know the store is smaller. And
so but I mean, I don't think you'll notice that much of a difference, but because the community is so nice, even the more competitive tournaments are super friendly and nice. So, but we'll see. It's good. We'll talk about that after the tournament.
So maybe we should say that this episode that we have now, this will be released. But when you're listening to this, we have already been to the store showdown. But we'll come back to how it went and what they expecting, or how do we feel about it and so on. we'll come back to that. Yeah.
And also, like, maybe evaluate our choices in decks, and especially for me, I guess. But what are you planning to bring to this tournament?
Yeah, so that is one of the reasons why we talked about how to choose a build a deck. The last episode was because I was thinking was like maybe I should go in and see if I can find something else, because I've been playing Ray for a long time, and for a long time that is a strong word, but I've been playing Ray, and I really like playing her, but I thought that I would like to try something else. So I saw there was a PQ winner somewhere. I don't know. I can't keep track of all of them, but he played a Yoda green, and I was like, what? That's weird. And because I've tried out the Yoda blue before, but I thought it was a fun take with the Yoda green. So I thought, okay, let's try that. So I took that deck, and then I have modified it quite a lot. So that was my base, a Yoda green. Yeah. So
I think that's feels like a nice like second try for you with a leader. It's not that far away from Ray, maybe, and so.
I mean, the deck is not super far away if you play Ray green.
No, it's not. Like the blue part of the deck is probably quite similar to the Ray deck, and then you have a new color in there with the green, and Yoda's ability is a bit more on the control-y side maybe than Ray.
And it's a little bit more like it's a little bit more difficult for me to follow when like how to. It's harder for me to handle it because Ray is just like, this is a small unit, buff it up. It's super easy, straightforward. But Yoda is a little bit more. I had to think a little bit more in sequences, and it hurts my brain a little bit. But it's also a lot of fun because I really enjoy playing it. So yeah.
I think actually Yoda is. I can imagine he's quite fun to play.
Yeah.
I don't play the filthy heroic characters, but if I did, Yoda would probably be one of the leaders I'd be looking at.
I think that's a little bit fun because you only go villainy, and I almost always go heroism. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, but we have a good split, at least for now, on the podcast. Yeah. So okay, what have you like locked the deck down, or I know we're probably playing with our locals two times this week if we can before the tournament. So I guess you're gonna try the deck out and see, maybe make some changes before the tournament. And
I mean, I pretty much locked it down. There's like the foundation is there, and I will not change too much about it, but there are some things that I'm a little bit like, I don't know how to do. I need to try it out a little bit more until I decide. But for instance, I had, I don't know if we should talk about too much about cards and stuff, but in the smaller units, I have a Gamorrean Retainer, which is a green card that goes, it gets Sentinel if you have another green unit out. And when I had it in my deck, like, for the first 5 versions or so, and I play that, and I always put it into resources, or when I played it just died, and it's like, I don't know if I should have this here because I don't like the card. So then we talked about it, a bunch of you and some others in the play group, and we were like, oh, I'll take it away then if you don't use it, and put in some R2 and a little bit other stuff. And then I played with it yesterday, and I suddenly was like, I really need retainers because I need units to die, because otherwise Yoda can't do his ability or his action. So it just like hit me. It's like, wait, hey, I need those because I need them to die. So now I'm a little bit like, so maybe I should try with them and without them again. And so there's like small things like that. And I also tried the deck because I have villainy or vigilance in there instead of double blue, so I can't play it for 4. I need to play it for 6. So I was like, I don't know. And then also I couldn't get hold of it. It was so expensive, the card. So I was like, I don't know if I'll just take it out. But now when I play with it, the deck works without vigilance for sure. But I also missed it because I use it a lot to mill out. I very often mill out the opponent. So especially when you played Afra, because you threw your cards away all the time. I was like, well, I will lynch you so you can throw even more.
Yeah, that would have been good, I guess.
Yeah. So what are you bringing?
Yeah, so on the Friday, almost 100% on playing my Dr. Aphra green, so my Dr. Aphra command deck. It's a super fun deck. Maybe not the best deck in the meta for sure, but it has its lines. It can be quite annoying to play against if I get the right draws and if I make the right decisions. She's not a bad leader when she works. She comes out on 5 resources, and if you have 5 different cost cards in your discard pile, when she's out, she's a 5/5. So a 5/5 on 5 is quite good, and
that's pretty good. Yeah,
can actually do some stuff with like overwhelming barrage or something like that when you put
still
her
hate
out,
that card.
Really, yeah. And then she's really good at playing the Palpatine's Return. It's a 6 cost event that brings back a unit from your discard pile. If it's a Force unit, it costs 8 less, so you can play in this deck you can play Vader or Maul on 6 resources. So if I get her to work, she can be quite annoying, and it's and most importantly for me right now, it's a super fun deck to play. I really recommend people to try her out. Someone that's better at making decks could probably make
find a good
even
deck.
better version of this. So that's just take my version and make it better, maybe.
Yeah. So go there on Friday and just win with it, and then someone will pick it up.
Yeah, it would be super fun if I could do well with it, because I haven't seen very much Aphra in tournaments.
I don't think I've seen any Aphra actually. I don't look too much, but I haven't seen any. So when you had it was the first time I saw it, and I didn't know what it did. But when we played against each other, but it's nice when the leader comes out, it deploys on 5 resources. Yoda comes out at 7, so it's quite late. So I just need to stay alive until he comes out.
Yep, that's a different kind of game when you try to go late. And that's one of the fun things about the game, that there's such difference in the leaders. Right. So
because it's a huge difference if I have you as an opponent, you deploy at 5, and your deck works in a certain way, and then I go into like Darth Vader or something that deploys in 7, just like the same as me, and it's a totally different deck. So it makes it so much interesting.
I forgot to say as well that the Dr. Aphra doesn't have a special ability on her front side when she's not deployed. Well, or she has an ability, and the ability is she discards a card from your deck at the start of the regroup phase every turn. So it's maybe more a disadvantage than an advantage, but then you try to use that with like the Palpatine's Return, and then when you deploy her, she actually gets to get 1 random card back as well from the discard pile. So
that's good.
If you can really make her work, and you can deploy her on 5, get a card, and she's a 5/5, that's actually can be quite good. So
I think she can be really strong if you just find the right deck.
Yeah, and it's I feel it's I've made this deck from the ground up, and it's because it's not easy to find people who makes Aphra decks. So
true.
So it's probably not an optimal deck, but because of her discarding every turn, I actually have 57 cards in the deck right now. I'm not really sure why I've landed on 57, but I've played it a lot lately, and it feels like it should be around 56, 57. I don't know why I think that, but someone else could probably make a better deck, and maybe not use all those. Maybe you don't need to have 57 cards. But
also you discard a lot of cards, so maybe you need to have a little bit more.
So I mean,
when you and me played, I had you discard 18 cards with Vigilance, so it's like that's quite a lot. So you need to have a bunch of cards.
Yeah, I need to have a lot of cards. Yeah,
for sure.
And I mean, there's a lot of fun interactions in the deck. I use enticing reward. It's an upgrade bounty you put on your opponent's units. If it's when that unit dies, you get to look at the top 10 cards of your deck, and you get to take 2 non-unit cards from the deck.
Oh, that's nice.
Put it in your hand, and then if it's a unique unit that you killed, you need to discard a card. If it's a unique unit, you get to keep all cards.
Okay.
And the fun thing about that is like, because you really want to have like a Vader or a Maul in your discard pile, because you want to have a Palpatine's Return on your hand, because you want to play the Palpatine's Return. You want to play the Vader 1 turn early.
Yeah.
So the enticing reward actually gives you both, because it searches your deck for the Palpatine's Return.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't have a Vader in your discard pile, but maybe you have one in your hand, you can actually discard the Vader.
Oh yeah.
From the effect from the enticing reward.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of fun interactions like that.
Yeah.
I really, yeah.
So we encourage people to take that
to try
and
out
play with it. Yeah.
And play it and go win a PQ with it, or
that would be awesome.
Make it better. Actually, probably make it better first, and then go win a PQ with it.
And we will share the links in the show notes,
yeah.
so you can take the Afra deck from Magnus and make it better, or worse. But
it's gonna be fun to try and play it.
It's fun with decks that have those combinations, because I think that is one of the things that I really like with my Yoda deck, that I could play a Luke Skywalker on turn 4, so on 5 resources, because I use
annoying.
The You're My Only Hope, if I use that one together with a Yoda action, because his ability is that I can draw the top card and I can look at them, and then I can put whatever card I have in hand down on top or bottom of the deck. So I can basically I can use Yoda's ability, and I can put down a Luke Skywalker on the top, and then I play You're My Only Hope, and that allows me to play a card that costs 5 less. So I can play out the Luke with 5 resources, which is really good. And then Obi-Wan on turn 4, right? Because it's on 4 resources. So it's like, it's super nice. And also, if I have resupply in there, so if I just put in some resupply, so it's super fast in that.
So it's turn 3 when you have 4
turn 3 resources. Exactly. So I can play Obi-Wan at turn 3, so which is fairly good to have.
That's also very annoying, I guess, if you play against. So
I mean, and also when I flip out Yoda, and if I put a Jedi lightsaber on him, he becomes a, what is it? He becomes a 7/12. That's annoying to deal with.
That's really annoying to deal with. Yes. And I mean, especially on the leaders, because they're harder to remove than normal, like your other units. I guess that can be really a big problem for
sure.
So
you're bringing the Afra on Friday, but do you bring the same on Saturday?
No, as I said, I'm planning on playing 2 different decks on the different showdowns. The Saturday one, I haven't really decided yet. At first, I was trying out to play Bosque Green. I really like to play big units, and ramping to big units sounded like would suit my style, but I don't know why, but I don't really enjoy playing that deck. So it's not going to be that deck at least. And so I went over wanted to be quite a different deck from the Afra one, so they're not close to each other. So it looks like I'm going more hard control. First I was looking at the Bosque Blue. Classic, doing very well in the meta right now, I guess. But that's always gives me like I don't know why, but I do it sometimes, especially when it's a bigger tournament. But otherwise, I don't really like to take like the best decks in the meta.
It's underdog thing again.
Yeah. So especially when it's a
that.
showdown. So actually, last Thursday when we played at our locals, one of the players had brought a Thrawn blue deck.
It's so annoying.
And Thrawn is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. I really love the Rebels show. And he is one of the showcases I have.
Yes.
So I actually made. I've been trying out and making my own version of Thrawn Blue, and it's gone quite well when I played it online actually, and it's I think it's super fun to play. I understand that a lot of people doesn't like to play against it because it's a very controlly deck. But so right now I'm leaning towards taking that on the Saturday, but we'll see. I guess I'll have to tell you guys on the next episode which deck it
and you have to bring
that on.
You have to bring that deck when we play now this week, because we like playing coming up to the store showdowns, because I really want to play against that deck. I think it would. I think probably I would hate it if I play my Ray deck because it's so reliant on units and you would just take them away all the time. That was my problem in the PQ, because since I met so many Cad Banes, they just took away my the Cad Bane Blue. They just took away my units. I couldn't do anything. But it would be interesting to try it with the Yoda, because the Yoda is not as dependent. It's more like, if you take away my units, it's a good thing because I can use my action. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. We'll probably get some games in at least this week before the showdown.
So hopefully.
And I mean, that's quite good for you to try against control as well.
Yeah,
and,
for sure. So.
And of course, you'll have to play against my Afro deck as well.
Yeah. But it will. Maybe we meet each other.
I really need to play that as much as I can, because it feels like a hard deck as well. So
yeah, of course.
Really need to make the right decisions if I'm gonna have a chance with that deck. So we'll see.
But I mean, I need to play a lot with Yoda, because I heard that the guy who made the original version that I took, the guy who won a PQ, he built the deck and then he played 250 matches with it just to grind it in. So he knew the cards real well. I was like, oh my god, okay, I need to play more. So
that is a lot of games.
It's a lot of games. Yeah. But I really enjoy the game, and I have to say I really enjoy playing Yoda. So I would be down for just like grinding games and play a lot to figure it out better, for sure. But we will put the links in the show notes, at least the versions that we are looking at right now, and then it might be when we talk about the showdown later on, we might have changed the deck list a little bit, and then we will put that low sync subs. So
we can post the decks we actually played, and we'll see if it were the same ones, or if we changed a lot this last week before
and how they did.
Tournament.
So you all can take them,
of course,
build them, and try them out.
If it's worth it, maybe we don't do as well. I didn't do well at the PQ, so I'm not having high hopes with these decks. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna
I have huge hopes for my Yoda.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I even bought a lot of cards to make it work. So I was like, I'm buying in on this one now. It's Yoda and me.
That's good. Yoda and you. Yeah, that's good. Yoda
really come.
He's a great character. So
yeah, he's a great character. I love him. Yoda is the one. It's so good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that's about it for this episode, maybe.
Yeah, wrap it up. It's
Yeah,
we keep these a little bit shorter because we are often talking about the experiences and the feelings about the game and so on, but we also do. I mean, you are really a competitive player, so we need to talk about that, and it's a very interesting part of the game. I'm more of a casual one, even if I really like the tournaments. I like competitions, and but I am not as competitive yet. I should say, but
you might get there.
I might get. I mean, I know myself, and I will probably. But I'm also, I can be a little bit. I know when you come in as a new person, I know I've heard this from other people also coming in new into the game. It's a little bit off-putting sometimes when people only talk about metas and the best decks, and it hinders you a little bit from exploring the game. So I try to like open up a little bit, but I also think the whole focus on the metas and the tournaments and the competitive part, I think that is very important and you should focus on that. It has its place in this game for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I think it's a super fun part of the game, but that's up to everyone to decide for themselves. But
you can play as
try,
you want.
at least try it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Super fun.
Yeah, that is for sure. I would very much recommend that. Since I was in the PQ, I was a little bit hesitant going there because I was so new to it, but I am very glad I did. It's such a good community, so highly recommend that. Highly recommend that. But so always tell me the odds. That's the name of the podcast. So as usually, we have, or I have this time, something you need to figure out the odds for. So you should always tell me odds on this one. So we are talking about space things, since we are talking about Star Wars and stuff. And when we do that, not in the Star Wars universe, but in our universe, you need to become an astronaut. Astronauts, that's the word. So this might not be as hard as the other ones we have had, like yours last week. That was a hard number. But so if you dream about being an astronaut, what are the odds for you becoming one? If you want to like apply and becoming an astronaut.
So I guess it's like how many actually becomes astronauts?
Yeah. So this is
how many that applies to that tries to be an
so this is the like how many applied to going to NASA to become a astronaut and then actually becoming astronauts.
I mean, that's probably super low numbers on this as well. It's like we need to get.
It's not the number of atoms in the galaxy, at least.
No, that's true. That's true. But I mean, I have no idea. Maybe could it be like how many would I mean? 1 in 1,000, maybe that applies.
That's not too bad. That's a good guess. So the numbers are a little bit old, but hey, it's in 2016, 18,300 people applied to become astronauts, and it was 10 people who came out of it. So
okay. I wasn't that far.
No, you were close. 1 in 1,830. So it's I mean, it's not impossible, but it's the odds are quite low to become an astronaut.
The odds are quite low. I mean, it's not like you and me that just tries to apply to be an astronaut either. It's like probably
they're well suited for it.
Most of the people that applies probably have some chance of getting in. Like,
I mean, there are astrophysicists and they are super well trained.
So
maybe we should apply.
Maybe I don't think that's for me. I'm happy with my job. So
I don't think that's I am a biologist and I have a lot of astronomy in my baggage from the university side. Theoretically, I could do it, but I like Earth a lot.
Yeah. I think we'll stay. We'll have to look into a galaxy far away instead.
I mean, we can go to the Galaxy Championship. That's that galaxy.
Galactic Championship. Yeah, we can go to that. Can try that out. Okay, so I guess before we go, we have a Discord you can join. There's a link in the description. We also have started to upload our episode on YouTube. Can check that out if you want. Please come with comments, questions. We would love to hear from our listeners. And you can find us on our own Discord and, of course, the international Discord and the Swedish Discord as Dragonfly and Following. So thank you all for listening and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.